Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. There's a lot of cricket coming in, let me tell you. So basically, I would just be able to, just talk in a very, very brief manner here. Yes, definitely. I would like to first just to tell you what exactly is in store for my dear friends and subscribers here on this cricket show today. It's about South Africa doing a clean sweep of the Test series and really surprised a few there as the Sri Lankan innings wound up very, very quickly. In fact, they lost the match by an innings and 118 runs at the Bull Ring, that is the Wanderers in Johannesburg, with Sri Lanka first being all out for 131, that was in the morning, and then after being forced to follow on with 295 runs in arrears, they were bowled out for 177, thus South Africa registering an innings and 118 runs victory over the Sri Lankans to give them a thorough drubbing there in this Test series where they whitewashed the Lankans 3-0. Yes, I'll be coming and talking about what really happened later. Other than that, yesterday we saw the New Zealand actually put up a good reply on thought, but still their work is still not yet done because they still have. But the good thing that they've done is that they have already put on 292 runs for 3 wickets in the match, and we are going into the 4th day today, as you know. And Tom Latham has gone on to a century. He's still there, unconquered. But one thing one has to say, the Basin Reserve in Wellington has not seen such huge scores being scored. So it has really, one wonders whether the Basin Reserve pitch in Wellington has actually changed the nature. Because we saw that yesterday. I mean, when one saw the records, it was Glenn Turner, the former great batsman from New Zealand, and the former opening batsman from New Zealand, John Wright, who were the ones. And John Wright was the last person who made a century here. And Tom Latham has become the 3rd Kiwi player to go and actually score a century at the Basin Reserve in Wellington. So really it speaks of something, and also we saw some huge partnerships, a huge score by Bangladesh. So definitely it looks that the Basin Reserve pitch is really changing its nature as time goes by. Well, and the other 2 cricket matches that are coming up, today we see the start of after a long break that the England team had after the Christmas and New Year. India and England will be clashing for the first time in the new year in the ODI series, the first of which starts in Pune today. And what a clash that is going to be. India has a new captain for ODIs and T20s, and that is Virat Kohli. So I'm sure the youngster Virat Kohli is going to be definitely getting a lot of advice from the wicketkeeper, batsman and former Indian captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni behind the stumps, and that is direly needed for Virat Kohli to going forward so that he can learn a few tricks from his predecessor Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And also today we have the start of the second one-day international of the series, which is coming up between Pakistan and Australia at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and that should be a real beauty. And one has to see whether Pakistan can come up with something special, as this is the second one-day international at the MCG. And MCG will have some very fond memories for David Warner the other day, as he smashed 150 runs in that particular match. I think it was in the Chappell Hadley Trophy series, which was against New Zealand. So definitely these are the things. So there's a lot of cricket coming up. I can tell you a lot of cricket coming up. In fact, the Desert T20 Challenge, the Mini Associate World Cup is also underway. But right now, I'm not going to go into that. because we have to concentrate on the main thing, and probably time permitting, I'll try to give you an update. But let's start off here from the whitewash where the Sri Lankans were whitewashed in the Test series by the South Africa. So Sri Lanka actually resumed their innings today on their overnight score of 80 for 4 with Angelo Matthews and Chandimal. But there was not much of a resistance at all. Philander actually picked up Chandimal pretty quickly. He was gone for 5. After that, we saw Angelo Matthews being dismissed by a beautiful delivery from Rabhada. And he was gone, caught by Quinton de Kock for 19 with 3 boundaries. And once Angelo Matthews left, it was always going to be difficult as it left the only Upal Taranga with the tail. And the next to go was Rangana Herath. And now it was the turn of Duan Oliver to deliver. The debutant got his his maiden Test wicket when he forced Rangana Herath to fend at a delivery, and it was Stephen Cook who took the resultant catch. And Olivier, I have to say that he has a very good bouncer, a very surprising bouncer he has. He uses it in a very sparing manner, but when he actually hurls one, he definitely has some extra zing onto it. And Taranga was there. Lakmal was the next to go when Panel, who was also bowling well, actually picked up the wicket of Suranga Lakmal for 4. And finally, we saw Taranga being dismissed by Duan Oliver for 24 with 4 boundaries. And Pradeep was caught and bowled Panel for 4. A very nice catch taken by Pradeep, by Wayne Panel. Kumra was not out on 1. And the Sri Lankan innings ended at 131 in the morning session itself. After that, the bowling, the wickets were totally shared. Duan Oliver getting his maiden Test wicket. A very good bowling analysis. 9 overs, 3 maidens, 19 runs and 2 wickets. Kagiso Rabada ramping up the pace and also really bowling very well. 12 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 44. Wayne Parnell trying to bend the ball into the batsman. 10.4 overs, 2 maidens, 38 runs and 2 wickets. Vernon Philander, 14 overs, 5 maidens, 28 runs and 3 wickets. And so with 295 runs in arrears, one was thinking what du Plessis was up to. But du Plessis this time took the option of enforcing the follow-on, and rightly so, as that is the reason South Africa could actually complete the formalities in 3 days itself. And the Sri Lankan second innings following on, it was Kagiso Rabada was given the new cherry by du Plessis, and that was good to see. And Kagiso Rabada immediately struck as he got Kaushal Silva with a bouncer which actually lifted off a good length spot, one could say, and Kaushal Silva was forced to fend at it, and he was gone. He was taken off the glove by Quinton de Kock. So he was gone for a blob there as Kushal Mendes came in. After that, we saw Karunaratne and Kushal Mendes slowly push the score along with especially Kushal Mendes, as one has seen, he really loves to play his strokes, and that's what he precisely was doing. But what a delivery from Wayne Parnell. As I said, Wayne Parnell getting that ball to really bend in and disturb the furniture of Kushal Mendes, as he was bowled by Parnell for 24 with 5 boundaries. It made it 39 for 2, and then Dhananjay De Silva walked in to join Karunaratne. Now Karunaratne was trying to see whether he could get his form back, and he was really playing in a very compact manner. But then another big wicket fell for South Africa here, as they got rid of Dhananjay De Silva, and this was done by the Test debutant Olivier. And what a catch, and the catch which was taken by du Plessis of Matthews was splendid, but this was also not far behind. Dhananjay De Silva gone, caught du Plessis, bowled Oliver for 12 with 1 boundary. After that, Angelo Matthews got a ball from Olivier, which absolutely, one has to say, what a brilliant effort from du Plessis in the slips. Diving full length, and grabbing it over his head on his knees. Magnificent catch for Duplessis of the bowling of Olivier. And Olivier was really on a roll right there. 87 for 4, and now things were looking a bit bleak for Sri Lanka. Karunaratne was doing what he was doing as he got Chandimal for company, but Philander got rid of Chandimal by getting him caught for 10 with 2 boundaries. After that, it was pretty tough going for the Lankans as Kagiso Rabada coming back for his second spell, dismissing the very well set Karunaratne by actually knocking his stumps out for 50 with 5 boundaries. After that, it was only a matter of when as to Sri Lanka were going to be all out. And we saw that Parnell picked up the wicket of Rangana Herath for 10 with 2 boundaries, and then Parnell went on. What a catch from Dumini now. Taranga trying to pull the delivery as the ball actually went off the splice of the bat, and it was in the air, and Dumini had to do a lot of running, which he definitely did, and then dived full length to actually cling on to the ball till such time, and that was the end of Upul Taranga, out for 26 with 5 boundaries. Lakmal indulged in some real hitting there. He decided to go for the bowling, and he was enjoying himself, cracking 31 with 6 boundaries. But then Parnell was the man who picked up the wicket of Lakmal, caught by Philander, and finally Olivier was the one who gave the South Africans the clean sweep as he picked up the last man, Lairo Kumara, by bouncing him. As I said, Olivier definitely one has seen that he has a very, very good bouncer, and he surprises the batsman, and Lairo Kumara was gone, snapped up by Cook at forward shot like he was gone, and that was the end of the South African innings. They all out for 177. Pradeep was not out on nod, and thus South Africa registering an innings and 118 runs win over the Lankans, giving them a clean sweep 3-0, and besides finishing the match in just 3 days. The man of the match going to JP Dumini, the player of the series going to Dean Elgar, who was very happy to receive his first player of the series award. And I'm sure the South African home fans would have really gone bonkers here. And the bowling, Philander 1 for 35, Rabada 2 for 50, Parnell picked up 4 wickets for 51. Johan Olivier on his first introduction to international cricket did a wonderful job, 3 for 38, picking up 5 wickets, I reckon, in the whole match. Johan Olivier, and looks to be a fine prospect. And JP Dumini won for, but definitely Kyle Abbott. Even without Kyle Abbott, South Africa did it to the Lankans. And Lankans, as I said, this series has been something that they have to really look into it, because yes, we know that it is a rebuilding phase for the Lankans, but definitely one will understand that. But definitely, if you look at the innings, there was no century from any of the Sri Lankan players, and it has been a real hard grind for them. And so that is as far as the Test series is concerned. Now let's have a look at the New Zealand versus Bangladesh, day 3. Bangladesh, as I said yesterday, they made 595, and then it was a turn of New Zealand. As I told you on my cricket show yesterday, G. Travel was dismissed by Kamrul Islam Ravi with his very first delivery, as Raval was beaten by the extra bounce. He's gone for 27. Then we saw Kane Williamson come in and play with lots of confidence. He was very positive right from the word go, making 53 of 8 with 8 very well hit boundaries, especially when Williamson was going on to the back foot and really getting those boundaries. It was a really very good to watch. And Kane Williamson was the first Test wicket for Taskin Ahmed, who was making his debut, as Kane Williamson was caught behind by Imrul Qais with a ball from Taskin Ahmed, which actually straightened a bit and just moved in a shade, and Williamson was caught by Imrul Qais behind the sticks. Ross Taylor came in, never showed, and Latham at the other end was doing a fine job, and which was to basically, his job is to basically hold the innings, and that's what he precisely has. A good defense. He really meets the ball very well with the bat, and predominantly he was strong through the leg side. He definitely gets onto those flicks and dabs and a lot of things. So he picks a lot of runs predominantly behind the wicket, and that's what he's precisely doing. Ross Taylor was after never didn't even show any signs of probably having any problems after his eye surgery, and he was really rocking, one could say, because the way he was playing his strokes, it was really nice to see. Just 1 foot forward, and he was driving through the line, and he was driving it in such a fluent manner. The ball was really scudding on to the boundary as Ross Taylor was looking pretty ominous, one could say, and the New Zealand innings really went at a good tempo when Ross Taylor was at the crease. But then Kamrul Islam Rabi picked up his wicket by getting him caught by Mahmudullah after making 40 with 6 boundaries, and that left Henry Nicholls coming in and joining Tom Latham. Tom Latham, as I said, would be happy with this effort, especially considering the fact that he became the 4th New Zealander, the 4th Kiwi batsman to score a century as an opener at the Basin Reserve. And as I said, only few people have made centuries at the Basin Reserve in Wellington, and all the batsmen have been Kiwis and openers, and so that is a great achievement for Tom Latham, and he has been scoring at a very consistent rate as well. So he showed on the Indian tour that he can play spin very well, and besides he has a resolute defense as well. So Tom Latham was there holding the fort for New Zealand as he got to his 6th century in probably 27 or 31 matches, and he was not out on 119 with 13 boundaries in that. Henry Nicholls was the other one who was also looking good as he got an unbeaten 35 towards stumps with 4 boundaries, as New Zealand must close the day on day 3 at 292 for 3, and that means they still have some work to do here. 303 runs more for New Zealand to actually get on to the lead. As far as the bowling was concerned, Mehdi Hassan Miraz was yesterday it was Mushfiqur Rahim, the captain, was out because of his injury, and Tamim Iqbal was the one who was leading the side. And Mehdi Hassan Miraz bowling the first over. Well, I thought he still bowled well. 26 overs, 4 minutes, none for 82. Subhashis Roy on his debut also looked good. 16 overs, 4 minutes, none for 46. Taskin Ahmed, 15 overs, 2 minutes, picked up a very important wicket, that of the Kiwi captain Kane Williamson. Kamrul Islam Rabi, predominantly one has a feeling that Kamrul Islam Rabi is one who could probably get the ball to go away from the batsman with his slinging action that he has. But nevertheless, he was effective. 2 for 53 for Kamrul Islam Rabi. Shakib Al Hasan 7 also made a none for 30. Now, they still have some job to do here, but since I'm running out of time, let's have a look at the other matches which is coming up. Today, India and England will be taking on each other after a long break after the Christmas vacation, and it would be India versus England at Pune in the first match of the 5-match ODI series. India will be led by a new captain, Virat Kohli, and I'm sure he's going to get a lot of instructions from his predecessor, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, behind the sticks. India has Shikhar Dhawan back after his injury. Rahane is looking good knock after that 91 he hits against after representing India A against England. Rahul, Virat Kohli, the captain, Yuvraj Singh probably bound to play. It is going to be interesting. The selection is going to be interesting. It's very too early to talk about anything, whether Yuvraj Singh will be given a chance, Hardik Pandya, Kedar Jadhav. It all depends what really comes up. So I'm not going to really get into those or whether the Pant who shown himself very well in the match against England with some really good biffing could come up. One does not know. One has to wait and watch. And all in all, it should be a wonderful match. As far as England are concerned, England definitely has a lot of firepower. It's going to be a different ball game altogether when it comes to one-dayers, according to me. Jason Roy, Alex Hales form a formidable opening partnership. They've been pretty successful so far. Joe Root is the other with a solidifier. Josh Butler brings his unorthodoxy and gets a lot of runs. Morgan, the captain himself, is a very good hit to the ball. And then you have Ben Stokes, the mercurial all-rounder. Moeen Ali, Chris Wokes. There's a lot of batting in this England lineup, and they look I'm sure they're looking out with lots of confidence. As far as the second one-day international that is coming up between Australia and Pakistan today at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, that should be someone that David Warner would be wanting to do a repeat of what he did to New Zealand in the Chappell Hadley Trophy ODI series, where he slammed 156 runs. Whether he can do that, Travis Head was very impressive, and not only with bat as well as ball as well. Chris Lynn would be expected to get up with this big hitting there, and one would really like to see. It seems that Stan Lake is a doubtful starter. In fact, Pakistan also has problems in there. Unfortunately, they are going to be missing Shoaib Malik once again, which is very sad for them. Even Azhar Ali is out, so that is also going to hurt them a lot. And Mohammad Hafiz, who has come into the team, would be the one who will be captaining the side on his experience. So Asad Shafiq gets an opportunity, and also there is an opportunity for some other players as well. So I mean, Imad Wazim and Mohammad Nawaz also keep their spots there, and I think we are going to have some real feast of cricket coming up as far as this particular week is concerned. Well, dear fans, subscribers, that's about it as far as today's cricket show goes. I would like to bid you all goodbye, and also say that there's also the Desert T20 Challenge, the Mini Associate World Cup in progress, but unfortunately due to shortage of time, I wouldn't be able to talk about it. Probably on Twitter, you can see me making doing some tweets about it. Until such time, I don't have anything else to share, and this is your host Ram signing off finally for the day. Thank you.